Shalom, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule well, and who have taught us young brothers this knowledge. Honors and salutations to you. Sincere Akim out there is doing the work with true sincerity. Shalom to you all, and shalom to the Akwaf that believe as well. I'm back at you with another lesson, and I entitled it An Assembly of Great Nations. One thing I've been watching carefully the last couple of days is, been on my mind the last couple of days, and I was willing and hoping to get to it, and the Lord made a way where I get to it right now. These talks between North Korea and Russia leaders, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong Un, and it just reminded me of prophecy, how the Lord is going to assemble these nations together to come against Babylon, which is so-called America. Okay, and so this is an article from RT News, of course, or courtesy of RT News, and I'm gonna get into it and read some of it, and I'm gonna bring out some scriptures. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, and I'm gonna dive right into it. As you see, it says talks between Putin and Kim. What has emerged so far? All right, and they've been meeting for I want to say the first time I seen them or took notice of them meeting, and it was in the headlines in the news. It's probably a week, but then his stay over in Russia was I think a few days, where he was having talks of a military agreement and things like that. Now let's get into it. It says many interesting projects are open for Moscow and Pyongyang despite UN sanctions, the Russian leader has said. I'm gonna jump down right here. It says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is making a rare foreign visit this week as he tours several military and civilian locations in Russia's Far East. Okay. He was on a tour, all right, like a multiple days of tourism. Okay. It says talks at Cosmodrome. Kim arrived in Russia in his personal train, a mode of transportation that both his father and grandfather used when they led North Korea. His first major destination was the Vostochny Cosmodrome, an advanced space launch facility in the Amur region. Okay, so um, he's he's softening, Kim Jong Un up to join forces. Okay, and Kim Jong Un, which is the leader of North Korea, he first of all, North Korea is a rogue nation that have ICBM capabilities. Okay, now we know that nations, many countries, I should say, many countries have missiles, but there are only roughly a little over a dozen, maybe a dozen or a little over, not a dozen, I'm sorry, a half a dozen of nations that have actual ICBMs, or intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, which I've pulled that up as well. Okay, I just Googled how many countries have ICBM, and what came up was this on Google. It says the United States, Russia, China, France, India, the United Kingdom, Israel, and North Korea are the only countries known to have operational ICBMs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like I said, a little over half a dozen countries that have actual operational ICBMs. Now, this is these are the countries that are listed, all right, which have ICBMs in service. Okay, there's another term for in service already. All right, so North Korea is it's not a small deal. Okay, it's a big deal. All right, Pyongyang's unwavering support during his greetings ahead of the Well, actually, let me pause right there. Let me get that in Joel, because Joel says that, right? Okay. Joel says that in Joel 3. And I'll start at verse 9. The point is in verse 10. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim you this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. So with North Korea having those nuclear missiles, okay, they obviously became a strong player on the world stage when it comes down to ICBM missiles. This is why Babylon, which is America, was so against them having, ICBMs, because they know that North Korea ultimately don't like America. Okay, and they have a real disdain for America. When you know the history of what America have done to Korea and how it became North and South Korea, I mean, you will understand the hatred they have for America. Okay, it's legitimate. Okay, you have many videos on YouTube that show you that you have actual families that are split apart because they live in South or North Korea. Same bloodline, same kin, all that. Brothers, sisters, cousins, what have you. Okay. And even their children's children, okay, are separated because of this split, which became North and South Korea. So they have a legit reason to be angry and have a hatred for America. Okay. It says, during his greetings ahead of the negotiations, Kim expressed his nation's unwavering support of Russia against what he called hegemonic forces and imperialism, right? Because they know it very too well, like I was just mentioning. Um, Moscow has accused the U.S. and its allies of waging a proxy war against Russia, which they are, through economic sanctions, coercion, and military action in Ukraine, right? Because, you know, they were, we all know what it is, okay? It's basically the Cuban Missile Crisis in reverse, okay? By making Ukraine part of NATO, that would be the Cuban Missile Crisis in reverse. Cuba becoming an ally with Russia, right here on America's doorstep, pretty much. It's the same thing in reverse. All right. And people don't look at it that way. Because why? The main narrative in the news is misinformation. They want you to believe that, the Russian leader is just making up some crazy allegations or making up a false pretense to go invade Ukraine. But no, um, it's over national security interests of Russia. Okay. It says Moscow has accused the U.S. and its allies of waging a proxy war against Russia through economic sanctions, coercion, and military action in Ukraine. North Korea has been facing Western pressure for decades, which is true. Pyongyang and Moscow were allied during the 1950s civil war on the Korean Peninsula, in which the U.S. was the primary foreign military supporter of Seoul. See, this is what they remember. All right, roughly 70 years ago, a little over 70 years ago. All right, who was the cause of Korea splitting up into North and South Korea? It was the U.S. Okay, with the intervention, or what do you call it? Foreign intervention. Okay, foreign forces invading, another's the Korean land. All right, the Korean Peninsula. Okay, so you understand. Military cooperation. Officials in Washington have been claiming for months that Moscow has sought to procure weapons and munitions from the extensive North Korean stockpiles to use them in the Ukraine conflict, which Russia don't even need their stockpiles. They have plenty. They have the most powerful ICBMs in the world, and they have the most stockpile. Uh, you know, between the two. Okay, North Korea. They're neck and neck with or even more than the so-called U.S. Okay, it says um, the accusation escalated in July when Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited North Korea. If Pyongyang were to help Moscow with arms, it would not reflect well on North Korea, and they will pay a price for this in the international community. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan threatened last week because they know that North Korea possess again ICBM missiles. Okay, and basically what's going on is that the Lord is stirring up these nations that have missiles and even the ICBM missiles, and then you have the hypersonic missiles now. Okay, which Russia been successfully testing for years now. Okay, which is into play, and now that America is forced with, or America is met with the same force that it have been putting on these other countries. Now it's crying out foul play. Okay, but ultimately this is the will of the Lord. He's going to assemble these nations, okay, together, and they're going to come up against Babylon, okay, which is America. All right, this is Jeremiah 50:9, which the title of this video come from this scripture right here, okay. Um, Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. For lo, I will raise a cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her and basically what they're doing. We put, matter of fact, let's look up the word set themselves in array. I don't know what that word, I can't remember what that word means, array. But I can look it up though. Set themselves in array. The Hebrew word there is Iraq. Iraq. It says to arrange, set or put or lay in order. Okay. Set in array, prepare. See, prepare. Prepare what? Prepare your missiles. Okay. Matter of fact, when you go over to Jeremiah 51, what it says in Jeremiah 51. We start at start at 1. Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Yeah, because the nations are going to be round about her. Okay. And this is what they're going to do. Verse 3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. See? What comes out of the bow? Arrows. All right, arrows. All right, the bow and the arrow is a metaphor for the silos. All right, the bow will be the silos, and then the arrows will be the missiles that come out of the silos. Okay? That's what the Lord is going to rain upon Babylon. Okay? The daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great. It's all referring to what you know as America. Okay? And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Okay? And that's what's going to happen. Okay? And then how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because we know that ancient Babylon was not destroyed by fire. Okay? And it speaks about Babylon being destroyed as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Jeremiah 51 and 9 says, and the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. See? And that never happened to the ancient Babylon. Okay? the landmass of the old Babylonian kingdom, all right, the Neo-Babylonian kingdom, all right, referring to that one, all right, it's still there, and it still have been inhabited, even during the time of the Neo-Babylonian fall. All right, people still live there, which would be modern day Iraq today. Okay, Iraq is still inhabited, and even with Esau bombing Iraq, all right, doing this made up, false pretenses that they use to call this war on terror. Okay, what happened? They bombed Iraq, and Iraq still have millions of inhabitants as it is this day. Okay, so we know it's not talking about that Babylon. We know it's talking about what? The daughter of Babylon, which is mentioned in Psalms 137 chapter. All right, it says Edom. Okay, it mentions Edom and it mentions the daughter of Babylon because that's who, it's referring to. All right, the Edomites who what? They modeled themselves after the Babylonians. Okay, that's why it's known as what? The daughter of Babylon. Uh, um, they have born, ancient customs of the old Babylonians. Okay, especially through the witchcrafts and enchantments that this place gets into. Okay, so back in Jeremiah 50 and verse 9, it reads, for lo I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Now, what nation? What land is furthest north? It will be the land of Russia. Okay, which is also known as Gog. Okay, which is known as what? Gog. When it speaks about the prophecy of the Lord putting the hooks to the jaws of Gog, the land of Magog, in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, who is that referring to? All right, the Russians. Okay, you get you a biblical map and you will see. Excuse me. All right. Matter of fact, I'll just get it for you. Okay. Let me see here. Biblical map. Let me see here. Gog. There we go. Click on images. All right. That's the one right here that shows you perfectly. Okay. Well, let me get one more clear so you can see it, because I don't know why this one's not as clear as it should be. But it should be a lot more clear than that. Okay. Pull that down real quick, Shalaki. Bear me 1 second. Let me find a better map so you brothers and sisters out there can see it plainly. Okay. I don't know why that map came up crazy looking. Let's see here, what we got here. Oh, this is better. All right, this is better. Okay, so you see Magog, which is Russia. Okay. And what the Most High is doing is putting the hooks into the jaws, all right, of the Russians, okay, the Russian Edomites, to turn against their counterparts over here in Babylon, okay, America, okay. That's what's going on, okay. Let's see here. Better map. So you could just pull up a map and it come right up, but this is the best map to get, but it's kind of blurry for some reason, okay. I wish you can see it because it literally has Gog and right dead smack on Russia, okay. But here we go. We're going to go back to the scriptures. All right, we got some more precepts. All right. So we know that the Lord is going to raise up these nations, okay, to come against Babylon. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Again, those arrows are what? The missiles. Okay. And when those missiles are beginning to be shot, they're not going to break their ranks. Okay. The scriptures tell you that in the book of Joel. Okay, let me get that. Joel 2, verse 7. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Okay. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the they man, look, that's it on that Shalaki. I went too far on that. I got a little carried away, because hey, it's gonna be exciting to watch, this place fall. Okay. Let me go from there to Revelation 9. Those arrows, matter of fact, let me get this one, 2nd Ezra 16. That's a good one too. Speaks about the arrows. Many scriptures about the arrows being shot. Okay. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 13, because it's the Heavenly Father is going to do this. Okay. The Most High himself, Yahweh, okay, is going to perform this. Okay. 2nd Ezra 16:13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay. Because why? The missiles are going to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay. And they're going to definitely take out this place, Babylon the Great, and make this place most desolate. Okay. That's prophecy. Okay. And what does scripture say? That none of these shall fail. I mean, what? None of the prophecies of the scriptures are going to fail. Okay. Verse 16, it says, like as an arrow, right here, verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returning not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Because the ultimate plague, okay, is when this fire is going to be rained from heaven, which is it's going to be caused by what? The ICBM missiles. All right, these many missiles the Lord is going to rain, okay, on this place. Okay, let's go to Revelation 9. Okay. I keep doing that. Slack. Revelation 9:16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, which, you do the math, it's 200 million. Okay. And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses. And that's the many missiles the Lord is going to rain in this place. Okay. He's going to make this place flat, man. All right. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Because what? The fire and smoke and brimstone come from the warhead, okay? The warhead of the missile. Let me get that, okay? Okay, ICBM. Bear me 1 second. Let me grab this. Here we go. All right, good. Let me see. Let's find a good one. All right. Bear me 1 second. Look, they show you one being tested right here. Look at that. All right, intercontinental ballistic missile being tested. Okay, there's always missile tests. All right, come on, let's see. Okay, let me see here. Is this a good one right here? I'm gonna get a good one that explains to you the warhead and the different function of the missile. Okay, so you brothers and sisters can see how it actually works, and there are actually videos that show you how these missiles are tested. You actually watch you can watch actual videos, okay, of these things of these missiles being tested. Okay. Now I don't know what's going on with this internet, but it's not clear for some reason. It should be clear. God, my internet on. Turn my Wi-Fi on. Should not be this hard to find. Okay. So this is good enough. Okay. I don't want to hold you too long. Okay. It says the guidance control group up there, which you have the warhead up there as well. Target detecting device, warhead, rocket motor, and the wings. That's a good one. This is a good one right here too. See, warhead. Right, so this is an actual better one. All right, warhead, because the warhead should be up front. That's the mouth of the missile. Then the control guys, okay. Then the fuel. You have the wings, propulsion system, which is the the engine, which creates the fire, makes the missile go. And then you have the fins, okay, which is also used for steering. The wings and the fins are used for steering, okay. So this is a pretty good layout, okay, of the missile. There you go. See, warhead, guidance control, devices, fuel tank, liquid oxygen tank, turbine and pump. Yeah, the motor, combustion chamber. Give that spark to propel it, to go and hit his mark. Okay. Verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. Okay. Which we know what the third part of men is, right? The Edomites. Okay. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. Okay, the power is in their mouth and in their tails. The warhead that creates the boom, and in the tail, what's in the tail? The turbine, the motor that propels the missile. Okay, so when you see when you see the missile, okay, takes off, give you an example, right? Let's give you oh, look at this. Look what came up. Russian Satan 2, Sarmat. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
The RS-28 Sarmat is a Russian intercontinental range, hypersonic, liquid propellant, heavy thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missile. It is believed to have a range of over 6,800 miles or 11,000 kilometers and is capable of carrying multiple independently chargeable re-entry vehicles with nuclear weapons. The missile is designed to be capable of defeating any current or future missile defense system and is intended to replace the aging RS-20 Voda or SS-18 Satan ICBM. The Sarmat has reportedly undergone testing and is believed to be in service with the Russian military. It is one of Russia's most advanced strategic weapon systems and is intended to enhance Russia's nuclear deterrent capabilities.
And they nicknamed it Satan's son. All right. Not only is it known as Satan 2, it's known as Satan's son. Yep. It's over, man. It is over, man. You wonder what's going to create that lake of fire? All the ICBM missiles. Okay? All the missiles are going to be shot over here. All right. Hey, man. What's that song? Here Comes the Boom. Okay? And that boom is going to come. All right? Verse 19. For their power is in their mouth. And you just seen, the missile being tested, right? From the, the Sarmat 2. Satan 2. Also known as Satan's son, Sarmat. All right, it says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. You see what's in the tail? That fire that propels, the missile to go where it need to go. Okay. For their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. See? So, hey, there you go, man. Okay. They do hurt. Meaning what? They're gonna put a hurting on Babylon. All right. And you're gonna see what? This place turn into a lake of fire. Okay. That's how it's going to look from the chariots. Okay. Let me get that real quick. That's exactly how this place is going to look, man. Okay. This is Revelation 19 and 20. It says doom of the beast, which is, we know what the beast is, right? This is the old Roman system, the old Greco-Roman system that been revived through America. All right. It says the doom of the beast and the false prophet. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. It says, and them that worship his image, these both, excuse me, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Okay, and we're going to witness this. Okay, we're going to witness this fire and brimstone. Okay, those of us that are part of the elect. Okay, Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. Okay, they're going to actually see this place looking, like a lake of fire. Okay, hovering over it. All right, this is let me see. I hit the point. The point is in verse 2. I can read down 1 and 2. Revelation 15, 1 and 2. It says, verse 1, a scene from heaven, right? And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. Right, because, excuse me, from the chariots, the ones that got the victory, which are the elect. All right, beginning with the elect, 144,000, and then the rest of the remnant of Jacob, the children of Israel, the Israelites. All right, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. Abba Ratazah, Yahweh Ratazah, which is the Lord's will, or Yahweh's will. All right. We're going to be standing in the chariots, and we're going to be looking down, watching this place, set ablaze, man. All right. Verse 3, and they And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Okay, so this is what the elect is going to be singing, because why? They, the victory that they have gotten over, Babylon the Great. Okay, Lord willing, again, I'm one of those men. Okay, this is going to be an awesome deliverance from Babylon the Great. Okay, to see the place that oppressed and enslaved us for all this longer time. We've been in this captivity. All right, this destroying mountain come to an end, and the ultimate plague is going to be those missiles. Okay, so now you want, now you brothers and sisters, you should see that the countries that have the ICBM capabilities, all right, or ICBM missiles in service, all right, that's not aligned or allied with America, which is Babylon. Yeah, it's a threat to this place, because they know that they have enemies out here, all right, even of their own people, which is the other nations, especially the Russian Edomites exclusively, right? So we'll come against this place, okay? So that's all I have for you in this video. Lord willing, it was edifying, and I want to say until the next video, Shalom and the Bob Abal. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.